But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, other games that you would think would benefit from having this sort of open. I don't know if I want to connect that because I kind of want to direct everyone onto the expressway instead. But like I was saying, a lot of games that I think would have benefited from having this sort of open world kind of thing. I mean, not a winless condition. For example, Roller Coaster Tycoon, which was made by somebody else, and for whatever damn reason, I can't remember who that was who made it. If someone can supply that information in the comments, I will be eternally grateful. But yeah, whoever made that was so adamant about the victory conditions that he stated they were the sole purpose of the game. This game exists to play the scenarios. If you want to have fun with this game, then you're a sucker. You must do my scenarios, rawr! And to be fair, the scenarios were fun and challenging, and I think the game is better that they were there. But just like the extreme emphasis on them, damn it, another crash. But what I was saying was, the way they just beat their heads over the scenarios and was like, oh, this is the point. I like to think of the scenarios in Roller Coaster Tycoon as more of a guide, Like, here, try this out. And, I mean, the one city, or the one place that, if you didn't keep the people happy, it would close down, was good because you had unlimited money. And when you had unlimited money, you could really abuse things all to hell. So that one stipulation was good that it was there. I guess all I'm saying is, the having an open world and just an open-ended gameplay in games like that is really valuable. And I mean, there were scenarios in SimCity in 2000 and I believe in 3000 too. I don't think there's any scenarios in this version of the game, but I'm sure someone's made a mod for that. I'm thinking this area should have like a big open park or something in it, just to break up the monotony of, these endless zones. I think that would be kind of nice and people would enjoy that. Alright. Tennis courts. Flower gardens. Oh, by the way, if you ever see me playing and, suddenly things don't look like they did just a minute ago, like things shifted, it's not an error in the Matrix. You don't have to get all paranoid. It's usually merely, it crashed and I rebuilt things, but something might have been one square off from how it was before the crash. And I usually don't bring attention to those things because I just like to see if anyone notices, and of course no one does. Or at least I don't comment about it. But now that I say it, I'm sure I'm going to have, at least one person say, oh, I see these things in every video, I just never talk about it, and that's going to get like 6 thumbs up or something. But yeah, you're talking out your ass because people don't notice it. People are not very observant. I mean, I've gotten away with some pretty funny things, For example, if you think back to, if any of you are Minecraft viewers, and if any of you were around last year, you would remember my smoothie series, and also my Minecraft 1.0 Let's Play that I had going for a time. Well, the big twist at the end of that was that I was in Smoothie all along, rather than a new world in which I pretended to be. But the thing is, the signs were so obvious, and people even caught some of it, like, a skeleton isn't going to shoot at you on your very first day in a new world, It's not going to happen until night has fallen at least once. But, there were other hints, like, whenever I pressed F3, the coordinates were way off what anyone would expect from starting, And I think that that people should have been able to deduce what the big secret in quotes was for all that, but no one did. And I was really counting on people not being observant to pull off my little joke. And it worked because people are not observant. I mean, I found the whole thing funny. I mean, quite a lot has, you know, there are things, like, I'm not sure how I want to phrase this, but there are things that have popped up in the background of things that I've done that would be kind of awkward to explain for a person who has a sense of shame, which I really don't. So it wouldn't be awkward for me, but it would be awkward for another person to explain that have popped up. And I'm just waiting for like someone to comment on one of those things. But you know what? It's never happened. I mean, maybe people are just too embarrassed to say it, like they're embarrassed for me, which I don't really see any reason to be. I mean, after all, you know, if you can laugh at me, that's just about as good as laughing with me. You know, I'm a grown man. I can take a little ribbing here and there, you know. But it's kind of funny that nobody picks up on certain things, you know. I mean, I could probably have like, well, no. If I had a picture of a naked chick that I kept flashing to every minute or so, you definitely would notice that and comment on that. But if it were something a little bit more subtle that I tried to do, there's a good chance that just nobody would notice or comment. I notice that it happens a bit more on the bigger channels because, well, obviously, people are going to, we're gonna need more water. But people are going to, you have the chance of somebody finding out is 1 in 100, and, well, let's say that the chance of a person finding out and commenting about it is 1 in 100. You know, if I get 10 comments for video, it's probably not going to happen. But if someone gets like 10,000 comments of video, that means at least 10 people are going to do it on average. And when people see those comments, they're going to be like, oh yeah. And then they're going to thumbs them up, and that's how we are going to know. That's how everyone else is going to pick up on it. Alright. I'm not sure what shape the park should be. Actually, you know what? We're going to try something. I've done this in other cities, but this might seem derpy, but I am going to place a small police station down like that. And guess what? The radius, the circumference of this will be the boundary of the parks. Yay. I'm probably going to replace some of these flower gardens when we get right down to it. And, but it's a good start, and I'm sure many of these I will keep. I mean, I'm not too much worried about money now. I'm sure we're generating plenty. Yeah. Yeah, no, those police don't need to go anywhere. That station is going to be demolished as soon as we finish this. Oh, man. And I like making, just like it's a challenge to make something a curve in Minecraft, it's also a challenge to make something a curve in a game like this. I mean, could I do it without police stations and their radius being a cheat for me? Sure, I probably could, but hell, this makes it all the more easier. And we like things that are easy. That's why your mom was so popular in high school. Oh, shit, I went there. I done gone there. And I burned your ass. Yeah, that's right. And now we can destroy that. Boom. And take a look at that. Okay. Now we are going to work out how we are going to build around this, because, well, we didn't exactly create the easiest thing to build around, but it should work. Oh man. But yes, maybe I should get in the habit of leaving little Easter eggs here and there for the intrepid viewer to find. Because, you know, I don't think you're idiots. I think you'll find them. It's always fun. It's one of the many reasons to be jealous of the bigger YouTubers, I guess. You know, there's many... I mean, anyone who has, let's say, 3,000 subscribers who says he's not jealous of somebody who has 10,000, 20,000, a million subscribers, that person is lying, because of course we're jealous. We want that fame and attention. I really wish I had... I'd even like the Raocow level of fame. I mean, he's not all that famous, I guess. He's not the Yogscast or any of those guys, but, you know, when he says something funny, people say, oh, and they remix it and all that stuff. You know, he gets a lot of attention. And I'm an attention-seeking being as anyone else. And I would love if people, like, made remixes of me and made tribute videos about me. I mean, I'm vain. I'm as vain as anyone. No, hell, that's a lie. I'm much more vain than anyone. Yes, I have such a bloated self-image that you would hate to feel the full force of it. And I am thinking I am going to put some little streets to the park, but don't worry, they're going to be zigging and zagging enough that I doubt that many people, if anyone, are going to use them for shortcuts. And I do want to check to make sure I have the water. Yes. But, you know, maybe I don't have quite the talent for reaching people as someone like Raocow does, but, you know, that's something that I just have to accept. I have to accept that my level of recognition, I mean, there are people on YouTube that would kill to have 3,000 subscribers. Even if the number of people who watch an average Bone Canoe video is significantly lower than even the normal, you know, 1/5 to 1/3 that watch videos that they're subscribed to. But I mean, there are people who would kill for just this level of recognition, so I guess I can't be greedy. I have to be thankful for what I have, and I am thankful. And I think that I do quite a bit to convey my thankfulness, because I love you guys. I wish I could hug all of you in a big group hug. Yes, I would love to just stretch out my arms, and all of you, we come in for a big hug, and then possibly we will, you know, do other things later in hotel rooms across the country, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, we are going to build this park, and let's see, sandbar. You know what derpy dumbass thing I did? I have two cities called Sandbar, and it's like not the kind of name you'd think you'd use more than once. I mean, Sandbar, it's just kind of a boring name, but somehow I use Sandbar for two different cities in two entirely different parts of the world here, and man, do I feel silly. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to, first of all, we're going to grid this up. Oh man. Speaking of things that are completely unrelated to anything else I was talking about, or anything that I'm currently doing, you know what movie I saw for the first time since my childhood yesterday? The original movie for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now, isn't that a good movie? Of course it is. Now, I'm not saying I hate the remake with Johnny Depp. I don't think it was a bad movie, but let's be honest, you can't compare to the original. I mean, Gene Wilder is awesome. You know, he's brilliant. Loved him in The Producers. Loved him in this. And what was the other movie that he was in with Mel Brooks? We can make an airport down here, but I don't know. Don't know about that one. We'd have to move too much stuff. Yeah, we'll build an airport in other cities. But, yeah, whatever. Was that Blazing Saddles? 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was. That he was in. But yeah, it's a, I just think he's a great actor. And I was kind of surprised when I looked him up and found that he was still alive. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be. He's only in his 70s after all. He's not like 110, but damn, another crash. But I guess what I was saying was, I just imagine that people from the olden days, who were in things in the olden days, are dead, you know, for some reason, you know? Like when Dave Brubeck died, which was really recently, I was astounded because I thought he had died, you know, decades ago. I just don't have any conception of, like, I guess it's the inverse of what I was saying before about how I don't see, like, things like 2003 as being that long ago. Well, I guess the inverse is things that really were that long ago, that were before I was alive. In my mind, they're so long ago that there is no chance that anyone could actually be alive who was involved in any of them. I mean, the fact that Henry Kissinger is still alive, or at least I think he's still alive, blows my mind, because that dude was, like, involved in the Vietnam War. It wasn't like he was a kid then. He was a full middle-aged adult doing stuff. Alright, we're going to make our roads here, and these are going to be unpractical little fun things. We're not going to, like I said, I'm deliberately making it so that they aren't shortcutting anything. Didn't really need to do that since downloading the NOM patch, but because they actually do base things off of you know, as much of the kind of road as they do the shortest distance. So that's a something that works in the favor of this, I guess. But yeah, a little I don't know, it would just feel so empty without anything in it, you know? So we're gonna fill it up, Buttercup. But yeah, things that are old, and things that are new are going to be old, you know? It still blows my mind. Like, whenever I think about, like, the times that we are living now will eventually, at some point in the future, be considered history. And eventually, they'll be considered ancient history. We're going to put a few little huts in here for people who, I don't know, we'll pretend they're weekend cottages or something. And what we are going to do is we are going to fill this area with a few parks, like actual parks, and the rest of it will be trees. And we're just going to mix it up a little bit. And just a few more gazebos. Let's put a tennis court in here. A ranger station's appropriate here. Scatter some of these around. I think that's enough. All the rest will be trees. So get ready for the treeing of your life. I speak for the trees. Oh man, I remember when back in high school, a conservative classmate of mine made a whole presentation about how he thought that the Lorax was liberal propaganda.